Soft light on working hands, soft light on working hands. We begin, we don't rush. Soft light on working hands. Window breath, a quiet glow. Coffee warm begins to show. Paper waves without a sound. Morning settles all around. Fingers resting, not too tight. Air is clear, the pace is right. Nothing asking me to run. Just a day that's just begun. Soft light on working hands. Soft light on working hands. Small moves turn into flow. More than I need to know. Soft light on working hands. Soft light on working hands. No need to push ahead. The moment gently spreads it. Lines appear beneath the pen. Simple thoughts return again. Rhythm forms in subtle ways. Quiet motion fills the space. City fades behind the glass. Time is here, it doesn't pass. Every breath becomes the guide. I just move, no need to try. Soft light on working hands. Soft light on working hands. Small moves turn into flow. More than I need to know. Soft light on working hands. Soft light on working hands. No need to push ahead. The moment gently spreads it. Soft light, it stays with me in every small thing I see. Hands move slow, but they begin. That's enough to carry in. Soft light on working hands. 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 First touch on the page. First touch on the page. The room leans in. First touch on the page.
Notebook open by the cup. Steam climbs slow, then lifts above. Curtain moves along the frame. Nothing here needs naming yet. My hand waits over empty lines. Morning gathers, thin and bright. Wood and paper, breath and space. One small mark can start the day. First touch on the open notebook. Ink meets air and then it stays. City glass beyond the table holds the hour in muted gray. First touch on the open notebook. No big speech, no rush to prove. Just the pen, the edge, the margin, and a little room to move. Chair leg hums against the floor. Traffic folds behind the wall. A second line, then one more turn. Thought arrives in modest curves. Finger near the paper seam. Coffee ring beside the cream. Nothing polished, nothing planned. Still it opens in my hand. Oh, first touch on the open notebook. Ink meets air and then it stays. City glass beyond the table holds the hour in muted gray. First touch on the open notebook. No big speech, no rush to prove. Just the pen, the edge, the margin, and a little room to move. A page can hold a steady start. A line can set the rhythm right. Oh, first touch on the open notebook, and the morning comes alive. Air moves across the desk. Nothing starts just yet. Air moves across the desk. I let it sit. Cream tone resting on the wood. Edges clean the way they should. Laptop closed, a waiting line. Morning hell, but not in time. Curtain shifts along the frame. Light arrives, but stays unnamed. Dust turns slow above the grain. No need now to rearrange. Breathe inside the open room. Not too early, not too soon. There's a space before the act where everything begins intact. There moves across the desk, carrying what I haven't said. Between the cup and empty screen, there's enough to step ahead. Air moves across the desk, nothing asking me to prove. Just the surface, just the jet, and a little room to move. Chair is angled slightly off. Pen lies near but not in thought. Screen reflects a faded line. City waking out of sight. Hands don't reach for anything. Stillness holds a certain swing. In this pause the shape appears. Something simple, something clear. Air moves across the desk, carrying what I haven't said. Between the cup and empty screen, there's enough to step ahead. Air moves across the desk, nothing asking me to prove. Just the surface, just the chair, and a little room to move. Not the start, but almost there. In the balance of the air. Air moves across the desk. Then I begin. And I begin. Oh, before the line moves, right before it starts. Oh, before the line moves, I can feel the part. Pen just above the page, not touching, not away. Waits inside the tip, a thought begins to sit. Elbow rests along the wood, breath falls into something good. The margin keeps its place, nothing here to chase. There's a second I can stay, where it's clear but not yet made. Not a pause from being stuck, just the shape before the touch. Oh, before the line moves, everything is in the room. From the cup to window frame, all of it already tuned. Oh, before the line moves, no need to rush it through. It's already forming here, I just follow what is true. Chair leans back an inch or two. Street light fades from early blue. Screen still dark beside my hand. Nothing asking for a plan. Fingers loose and then return. There's a way the moment turns. Not by force, not by will, just a quiet kind of skill. Oh, before the line moves, everything is in the room. From the cup to window frame, all of it already tuned. Oh, before the line moves, no need to rush it through. It's already forming here, I just follow what is true. Not the start, not the end, just the place it all begins. All before the line moves, then it moves. My fingers find the rhythm. Cup rings, paper, skin. My fingers find the rhythm. And the day steps in. Steam lifts over ceramic white, desk edge catching 8 a.m. Thumb taps once beside the page, then the pen moves in again. Chair leg marks a small half turn, screen wakes up without a glow. Wood grain under resting wrist keeps a pace I almost know. Nothing loud, nothing forced, just the pulse of little things. Breath and movement line up slow, then the morning starts to swing. My fingers find the rhythm across the margin near the cup. Not a rush, not hesitation, just enough, just enough, just enough. My fingers find the rhythm. Window glass and tabletop, trade a pattern back and forth, and I don't have to stop. Shaker, air inside the room, traffic low behind the pane. Index finger marks the beat while the coffee leaves a stain. Notebook spine against my palm, rose chords leaning through the grain. I don't chase a better pace, this one reaches me the same. Something settles in a place, in the wrist, the breath, the chair. Not a plan I had to make, more like finding what was there. My fingers find the rhythm across the margin near the cup. Not a rush, not hesitation, just enough, just enough, just enough. My fingers find the rhythm. Window glass and tabletop, trade a pattern back and forth, and I don't have to stop. Small groove in the handle line, a turn, a touch, my fingers find the rhythm. That is more than enough. Yeah.
Step by step, I place it down. Step by step, no need to rush.
Heel to floor, a gentle sound. Coffee hell, no spilling now. Curtain line across the wall. Morning settles through it all. Notebook waiting near the edge. Pen a line beside the page. Nothing asks for something more, just this rhythm on the floor. Every move has somewhere to go. Not too quick, not too slow. There's a pace inside the room that the body already knows.
Step by step, I place it down.
From the doorway to the chair,
From the doorway to the chair,
from the table to the page, there's a pattern in the air.
step by step, I place it down.
Every motion finds its space.
Emotion finds its space.
Not a second out of line, everything falls into place. A chair pulls back without a sound. Cup rests gently, circle round. Finger taps along the wood, marking time the way it should. Window holds a distant street, city tones beneath my feet. Nothing drifting out of hand, every step is where I stand. There's a balance I can feel in the way the small things build. Not by force, not by speed, just by letting moments lead.
Step by step,
Ooh,
I place it down.
from the doorway to the chair,
From the doorway to the chair,
From the table to the page, there's a pattern in the air.
step by step,
Ooh,
I place it down.
every motion finds its space.
Motion finds its space.
Not a second out of line, everything falls into place. One step, then another one. Not behind, not ahead. Step by step, I place it down, and the day moves as I said. Coffee, steam, hidden tempo. Coffee, steam, hidden tempo. It lives, and I move. Porcelain warm in both my hands. Thin white ribbon leaves the rim. Table grain beneath my thumb keeps a pulse without a drum. Window holds a silver streak. Curtain sways above the sea. Morning doesn't ask for more, just this pattern from the poet. Not a signal, not a sign, more like timing in the air. Something rising from the cup meets the rhythm waiting there. Coffee, steam, hidden tempo, turning circles through the room. Past the notebook, past the screen, everything begins to bloom. Coffee, steam, hidden tempo, lifting through the elbow wrist. I don't have to name the feeling, it arrives like this, like this. Ooh, spoon laid down beside the stain, chair turned slightly toward the pane. A short note from the guitar leans into the morning bar. Road lines settle near the cup. Bass steps in and fills it up. Even silence finds a sway when the steam begins to play. There's a groove in little things, in the curve above the drink, in the space between the moves, where the body starts to lean. Coffee, steam, hidden tempo, turning circles through the room. Past the notebook, past the screen, everything begins to bloom. Coffee, steam, hidden tempo, lifting through the elbow wrist. I don't have to name the feeling, it arrives like this, like now. From the cup into the air, from the air into the skin. Coffee, steam, hidden tempo. That's where the day walks in.
Everything falls into place. Everything falls into place. Desk, hands, air, and day. Everything falls into place. Screen wakes up in muted gray. Cup ring near the folded page. Pen lies straight beside the seam. Chair turned toward the window frame. Curtain breath along the glass. Thumbprint near the coffee stain. Nothing sharp, nothing delayed. Just the room arranged this way. Not by force, not by plan. Little things begin to land. Table edge and moving wrist. Find a way to work like this. Everything falls into place. From the notebook to the page. just learning how to move with me here and now. Cup, page, chair, and screen all arranged inside the suite. Everything falls into place, and I begin within it. Oh. Focus settles and it stays. Focus settles and it stays. On the page across the desk, focus settles and it stays. Yeah, yeah. Window open to the pale, lines of glass and lifted veil. Cup beside the notebook seam, screen awake in silver cream. My hand rests without a strain. Pen turns once, then turns again. Nothing pulling me away. The hour holds its shape this way. Ooh. Not a rush and not a pause, just attention finding form. Breath and objects in one frame, meeting like they've done before. Focus settles in the open light, across the margin near the pane. Through the elbow, through the wrist, everything begins to stay. Focus settles in the open light, no sharp edge and no display. Just the mind inside the room, finding where it wants to stay. Chair and table, page and cup, all the small things holding up. Traffic low beyond the glass, present but it does not last. Moves under measured hands, guitar leaves a careful bend. Bass note underlines the floor, and I don't divide it anymore. What was drifting now is near, not intense, just clean and clear. In the air above the grain, thought arrives and leaves a trace. Focus settles in the open light, across the margin near the pane. Through the elbow, through the wrist, everything begins to stay. Focus settles in the open light, no sharp edge and no display. Just the mind inside the room, finding where it wants to stay. Focus settles in the open light, across the margin near the pane. Through the elbow, through the wrist, everything begins to stay. My hands learn today. My hands learn today. By the page, by the cup. My hands learn today. Knuckles rest against the grain. Pen turns slow, then finds a lane. Coffee ring beside the scene. Morning gathers through the screen. Curtain line across the floor. City blur behind the glass. Nothing asks me to explain. I just let the hour pass. Not by thinking every move, not by holding everything. There's a knowledge in the risk that arrives with smaller things. My hands learn the shape of the day, from the paper, from the pain, from the weight of what I live. live. And the space between each change, my hands learn the shape of the day. Not in words, but how they land. Through the edge of every task, through the touch of wooden hand. Yeah. Laptop open, muted tone. Index finger marks the zone. Notebook spine beneath my palm keeps the middle steady drawn. Roads moves under measured chords. Guitar bends and then lets go. Even silence on the desk starts to tell me where to go. There's a pattern in the reach, in the setting down the turn. Not a lesson I can teach, more a thing the hands can learn. My hands learn the shape of the day. From the paper, from the pain, from the weight of what I lived, and the space between each change. My hands learn the shape of the day. Not in words, but how they land. Through the edge of every task, through the touch of wooden hand. Oh, cup, screen, margin, chair, small things meeting everywhere. My hands learn the shape of the day, and I move with what is there. The pen moves, I don't think. The pen moves, I don't think. Line by line, it links. The pen moves, I don't think. Ink runs steady through the tip, wrist turns slightly, then it slips across the page in narrow rows. Something forms, but no one knows. Cup sits just beyond the line. Screen reflects a softer time. Nothing pulling me ahead. I just follow where it's led. Not a voice inside my head, not a plan I need to set. There's a current in the hand that I haven't named just yet. A quiet mind behind the moving pen. Every line connects again. From the margin to the edge, there's no need to comprehend. A quiet mind behind the moving pen. Nothing lost and nothing spent. Just the motion holding shape in the space of where I am. Chair leans back an inch or two. Fingers slides the paper through. Rose notes fall without a break. Matching every turn I make. City hum behind the pain. Stays outside the working frame. Inside everything aligns. Without asking me for time. No dividing thought from meg. No returning, no looking back. Just the flow from wrist to line. Leaving nothing left to try. A quiet mind behind the moving pen. Every line connects again.
don't think, and I stay inside it.
It moves like breathing now. It moves like breathing now. In and out, line by line. It moves like breathing now. Pages turn without a sound. Second layer settling down. Ink is dried along the edge. New lines forming just ahead. Cup is half and slightly warm. Screen holds shape without a form. Nothing pulling me away. Everything continues this way. Not a push and not a hold. Not a pace that must be told. There's a rise and there's a fall, and I follow through it all. The first progress feels like breathing. Through the wrist and through the hand. Through the space between each moment. I don't need to understand. The first progress feels like breathing. Not a start and not an end. Just a steady kind of motion that returns and moves again. Notebook edges stacking time. Lines begin to curve and climb. Finger rests then lifts again. Never breaking from the thread. Rhodes plays under steady tone. Guitar answers, then it's gone. Even silence finds its place in the middle of the phrase. There's a rhythm in the flow that the body seems to know. Not a thought I need to chase, just the shape the moments trace. The first progress feels like breathing. Through the wrist and through the hand. Through the space between each moment. I don't need to understand. The first progress feels like breathing. Not a start and not an end. Just a steady kind of motion that returns and moves again. In then out the lines extend. One becomes another then. It moves like breathing now. In then out the lines extend. One becomes another then. It moves like breathing now. And I stay inside it. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. In a glass, the city stays. In a glass, the city stays. Lines inside, streets outside. In the glass, the city stays. Window holds a second view. Buildings stretching silver blue. Faint reflections cross the page while the pen maintains its pace. Coffee ring beside the spine. Light bends softly through the line. Nothing breaks the inner flow, but the outer world still shows. Not divided, not apart. Two directions, one same star. What I see and what I do move together in the room. Morning windows holding reflections. City resting in the frame. Every motion at the desk finds a rhythm just the same. Morning windows hold reflection. Nothing pulling me stays, gently stays. Cars like lines that drift below. Signals change but never slow. Glass becomes a quiet screen, layered over what I'm in. Notebook edges catch the glow. Shadows move but stay controlled. Everything remains aligned, no disruption in the line. Out of motion, in a pace, share a single kind of space. No adjustment needed here. Both just settle, both stay clear. Morning windows hold reflections, city resting in the frame. Every motion at the desk finds a rhythm just the same. Morning windows hold reflections, nothing pulling me away. There's a balance in the view where the inside gently stays. Yeah, we stay. Work continues through the day. Two layers, one same place, and I stay between them. Shadows slide, I stay the same. Shadows slide, I stay the same. Across the glass, across the frame. Shadows slide, I stay the same. Lines extend along the page. Sunlight turns another shade. Edges shift on distant walls while the pen continues small. Coffee cools beside the hand. No need now to understand. Time is passing somewhere else. I remain inside this self. There's a change beyond the pain, but it doesn't call my name. All the motion stays outside. Nothing here I need to guide. Light moving across the buildings, falling through a different plane. Every shift is seen but distant, never pulling me away. Keeps his place. Reflections bend and disappear. New angles form and reappear. Cars below and soften lines, moving through their separate turns. Paper stays beneath the wrist. Every mark continues this. No disruption in the thread, no resistance in the head. There's a pattern out in view, but it doesn't break me through. I can see it, let it pass, like reflections on the glass. Light moving across the buildings, falling through a different plane. Every shift is seen but distant, never pulling me away. Changing shape
keeps its place. Shadows slide, I stay the same. Nothing here I need to change. Work continues, steady frame, and I stay inside.
Same rhythm inside out. Same rhythm inside out. Same rhythm inside out. Desk and streets, one route. Same rhythm inside out. Window holes, the passing lines, cars below in steady time. Thing continues, no delay. Both are moving in one way. Coffee lifts and settles down. Footsteps echo through the ground. Nothing separate to track. No need pulling focus back. Not two spaces anymore. Not a frame and not a door. Everything begins to blend without asking where it ends. The room and the city move together. Every line in every lane. Different forms but same direction. Nothing drifting out of place. The room and the city move together. Through the glass and through the hand. What is written, what is written, what is passing, finds the same unbroken span. Shadows shift along the page, mirroring a wider stage. Signals changing distant rows, matching how the notebook flows. Chair leans back then forward still. Everything aligns by feel. No division left to hold, just one pattern taking fold. Out of motion in a trace, share a single working pace. Nothing added, nothing missed, all existing inside this. The room and the city move together. Every line and every lane. Different forms but same direction. Nothing drifting out of place. The room and the city move together. Through the glass and through the hand. What is written, what is written, what is passing, finds the same unbroken span. Same rhythm inside out. No more edges left to doubt. Everything is moving through, and I'm moving with it. Signals drift, I read them slow. Signals drift, I read them slow. In the air they come and go. Signals drift, I read them slow. Elevator tones below. Distant doors that open, close. Traffic lights and steady change, all within a wider range. Screen reflects a passing shape. Clouds slide softly through the frame. Every movement leaves a trace that I notice, not chase,
Nothing calling out too loud, just a layer in the sound. If I listen, it is there, moving gently through the air. Soft signals through the urban air, passing through but staying clear. Every shift and every tone finds a place but not a hole. Soft signals through the urban air, never asking to be heard. Still they settle in the space like a barely spoken word. Footsteps blend with distant trains, wind moves lightly through the pain. Shadows flicker then align with the rhythm in the line. Notebook steady, hand in place, nothing rushing in the pace. All the layers seem to meet without stepping on the beat. There's a pattern I can feel, not defined but still it's real. Not a sound I need to name, still it moves me just the same. Soft signals through the urban air, passing through but staying clear. Every shift and every tone finds a place but not a hold. Soft signals through the urban air, never asking to be heard. Still they settle in the space like a barely spoken word. Signals drift, I read them slow. Nothing here I need to know. Still they pass and still they stay, and I move along the same.
No rush in these hands, no rush in these hands, no rush in these hands, no rush in these hands. Every line still lands, no rush in these hands, no rush in these hands, no rush in these hands. Pen rest just a second more than it ever did before. Not from doubt or from delay, just no need to move too fast. Coffee sits untouched at ease, air moves slightly through the leaves. Nothing asking for a pace that I don't already make. There's a way that isn't weight, just a slower kind of place where the motion feels complete even when it's incomplete. Hands slowing into steady confidence, every movement makes its sense. Not a question left to hold, not a story to invent. Hands slowing into steady confidence, no resistance in the thread. What continues simply does without needing to be led. Notebook pages turn with space, not a hurry in the trace. Lines arrive and settle down like they always knew the ground. Chair leans back and forward slide. Day has moved but feels the same. Nothing lost between the time, nothing gained I need to name. There's a rhythm in these that no longer tries to be. It just stays and lets it pass like reflections through the glass. Hands slowing into steady confidence, every movement makes its sense. Not a question left to hold, not a story to invent. Hands with it.
No falls, it opens wide. No falls, it opens wide. Step by step, no need to drive. No falls, it opens wide. Morning stretches past the frame. Tags arrive without a name. No sharp edges in the flow. Just a path that seems to show. Cup is empty, still it stays. Like it's part of how things play. Nothing asking to be done. Still the work is moving on. Not a push and not a pull. Every space already full. What appears is what I need. Nothing extra to complete. The day open without resistance. Every moment finds its place. No correction, no insistence. Just a steady kind of pace. The day open without resistance. Nothing pressing from ahead. What I follow follows with me. Every step already said. No book resting in the light. Pen moves slower, still it writes. Lines arrive without a plan. Still they land where they began. City moves beyond the glass, but it doesn't need to pass. Everything just seems to be in the same continuity. No adjustment in the way, no delay and no replay. Every motion fits the frame without asking me to change. The day open without resistance. Every moment finds its place. No correction, no insistence. Just a steady kind of pace. The day open without resistance. Nothing pressing from ahead. What I follow follows with me. Every step already said. No force, it opens wide. Nothing left to override. Day unfolds and stays aligned, and I move inside It holds its shape, still here. It holds its shape, still here. From the start to now, it's clear. It holds its shape, still here. First line written earlier, still remains in what is here. Nothing lost between the moves. Every step still feels in tune. Coffee marked from half the day hasn't really gone away. Like a trace that chose to stay in the rhythm that I made. What began without a push didn't scatter, didn't rush. Now it settles in the frame, still connected to its name. A gentle start that holds its shape through the hours, through the space. Nothing drifting out of line, nothing falling out of place. A continuing what grew. Light has shifted on the wall, but it doesn't change it all. Everything that came before still is present at the core. There's a pattern that remains, even as the hour changes. Not by force and not by plan, still it holds just where it stands. A gentle start that holds its shape through the hours, through the space. Nothing drifting out of line, nothing falling out of place. A gentle start that holds its shape, every moment still aligned. From the first to what is now, there's a thread I didn't design. Still here, no need to interfere. What began is still the same, just extended through the day.
It stays where I began. It stays where I began. Through the hours, through the span. It stays where I began. Light still resting on the page, though the day has turned its age. Nothing shifting out of view, everything remains in tune. Coffee cup now standing still, yet it holds the morning feel. Like a trace that didn't leave, only settled, only deepened. Not a moment lost behind, not a line I left aside. What was placed is still in place, just extended through the space. Light staying on the work you began. Through the motion of the day, nothing fading, nothing breaking, everything remains the same. Light staying on the work you began. Not a start that slips away, just a steady kind of presence that continues as you stay. Shadows longer on the floor, but they don't change what was before. Every mark still feels aligned with the rhythm in the time. Notebook closed, but still it holds every line that slowly formed. Nothing lost in letting go, only carried in the flow. There's a stillness in the air that was present at the start. Not a finish, not a break, just the same unbroken part. Light staying on the work you began. Through the motion of the day, nothing fading, nothing breaking, everything remains the same. Light staying on the work you began. Not a start that slips away, just a steady kind of presence that continues as you stay. Stays where I began, still within my hands, yeah. Nothing left to plan, only this remains.